Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm headed to Flatbush, Brooklyn to meet a former salon owner turned real estate agent to see how she got into the business and decorated her new home.
Hi guys, I'm Tricia Lee and welcome to my Brooklyn home.
Guys, we are in Flatbush, Brooklyn, and Tricia and I did a video, we filmed a video 2 weeks ago. That's not gonna come out for another couple of weeks, but on that shoot, I convinced her, like I always do, I convinced her to do a video of her home. She has a beautiful home here in Brooklyn. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely, I'm glad that you're here.
All right, tell us all about you.
I'm a realtor. I've been in the business for 4 years, as you know. I focus primarily on sales. And at a certain point in 2019, I had a listing, this listing. And I think because I was like showing it and like I got to see the response everyone had, I just remember coming home being like, I think I want this house that I've now put on the market.
We always fall in love. We see so many properties that sometimes you actually fall in love with the places that you see.
Absolutely.
But it wasn't as pretty.
No, it was not pretty at all. And I actually found myself standing in this very room with a young lady and explaining to her how amazing she could make this home. So in trying to convince her, I literally convinced myself. And by the time I got home that night and walked into my apartment, I was like, I think I want this house. And that became the beginning of this. So this is beyond the vestibule and the actual entrance to the home. I think the first time I walked into the home, one of the things I was really drawn to were the really large pillars in the home. This home was built in 1899. So there's just so much craftsmanship that obviously you really can't duplicate, can't afford to duplicate. But I think that's what drew me to the home, even though I really had to have vision because it was really falling apart when I first moved in. So in this room, I don't think cosmetically a lot was changed. I mean, we did structurally have to do a lot of things in here, but this was kind of how the room felt and how it flowed. One of the bigger changes I made was with the flooring and then also the floorboards and the molding. You'll see that it's 7.5 inches, which I think just gives the home such a rich, sophisticated look. Here, removing the wall was great for so many reasons, but primarily because it allowed the dining room to feel so much deeper and we were able to get more out of the dining room space. And the main thing is what we call the King's Corner. Well, he calls it the King's Corner, I call it the Queen's Corner, but we created a bar and it's a private bar because we hide all of our liquor down here. And right off of the bathroom is the kitchen. This was a full renovation as well, and probably the funnest part. We removed this entire wall here, opened this up to create an island, and I enjoy this the most because it's perfect for entertaining.
This is a lot more space than you used to have. Tricia lived in a luxury building, right? In downtown Brooklyn. You don't usually see this happen. You went from owning a condo to then renting, and then to a house.
Absolutely.
Usually once someone goes to owning, they never go back to renting.
For me personally, I was in a situation where I ran a business, I ran multiple businesses, and I owned my place, and I just wanted to change everything. My work style, I wanted to change my careers, and honestly, I think ownership gave me that ability. Like I was able to sell my last place and make a really great profit on it and eventually get into a situation where I could sit down and just think about my next steps. And for me, that was switching careers, switching where I lived. I wouldn't have had the freedom to make those decisions had I not made a home purchase, 5 years, 8 years prior.
Since we're in this beautiful kitchen, and this is an entertaining space, I brought Tricia some wines from Bright Cellars, and I want to thank Bright Cellars for sponsoring today's video. Bright Cellars is a super convenient subscription service that takes the guesswork out of shopping for wines. When you land on the site, you take a simple 7-question quiz that helps them pick the best wines that fit your taste. I personally prefer white wines, but I decided to go for a box that included a small amount of red just to try it out. In each box are matching cards that give you all of the information about the wines you received, so you're learning about each of your choices with each shipment. So I got you a red and a white. What do you prefer?
I'll do the white.
I got one red in the bottle because I figured I would give them away.
It's actually so pretty though, I love this.
Since I'm a white wine person as well, so that you can keep.
Thank you.
And this we will drink. Of course, this subscription service is for anyone who enjoys wine, but I think if you're in sales or a client-based business like I am, This would be a great option to have consistent closing gifts to give your clients each month. If you'd like to try it out, Bright Cellars is giving you guys 50% off your first 6-bottle box. You can follow the link in my description box below and it'll take you to the quiz to get started. Where are the cabinets from?
These are from IKEA.
They painted them? This is a custom color?
No, it seems like it, but it's something that they just launched last year. And I was talking to my fiance, I was like, I really want to do a green kitchen. He was like, green, that's kind of tricky. And the minute he saw this, he was like, no other discussion.
All right, so really quick, let's do a quick fire where everything is from. The cabinets, IKEA. Countertop?
The countertops are from a stone company.
Okay.
They'll set you back a bit.
And then lastly, this is her pride and joy. She talks about this. She wants to make how proud she is that she grew these.
I don't want to talk about anything else. This is my
These were two branches.
Two branches that came here, bored to death, and they were just empty. And I put them in this water. I feed them every other day. And look what I have. I have a tree growing in my kitchen. So when we purchased, this was extremely affordable. The market has really changed a lot in that very short period of time, but that is how New York real estate can move. And it's actually a beautiful thing. One of the biggest advantages of this particular townhouse was the rental unit downstairs. It's 800 square feet, I believe, and it just gives us options. We really don't have anything to do with it now, but should we want to, have guests stay there? Should we want to do an Airbnb, or should we even want a tenant? I don't want a tenant, but should we even want a tenant? We could do that. In the dining room, we did, I think this is an 8 or a 10-seater table. I'm not sure. It's usually just my fiance sitting at this end and me sitting at this end. We pretend like we're in Coming to America. I didn't do this. My best friend copied my tattoo from a place in Miami. So this is a tattoo I have over in multiple places on my body. And she had it copied and custom made for me, and then brought it on a flight from Miami to have it installed here. This is a reading area that we have in the house, and really not much goes on here. We just sit, we read, and we can look outside to our backyard, which is probably my favorite place in the house. We just did it this summer and renovated it. We have a beautiful deck. We barbecue out there. It's the only way we're really able to entertain now. So in the summertime, we had a couple of barbecues, very relaxing, and we got a fire pit towards the end of the summer so that we can also enjoy it in the wintertime. So it's definitely been a saving grace in this tough year.
One of the things that Tricia talked about while we were talking off camera is that a lot of her clients that she has now, and especially back in the day, people didn't buy homes on their own. They got their family together, right? Mm-hmm. So aunts and uncles and cousins got together and bought these brownstones and townhouses in Brooklyn and Harlem, in New York City, period, right?
Yeah, it took multiple incomes. And so when we have a dialogue nowadays about affordability and those prices are outrageous, you have to think about the generation before you and how they were able to accomplish it. They just weren't so singular about their goals.
Right.
They pooled together resources and credit and did what they had to do to get it done. And then every few years they would add to the portfolio.
Right. But I think nowadays we have the thought that we have to do everything on our own, and things like this are out of reach.
Absolutely. And I think that Gen Xers are really guilty of that, and some millennials as well.
Yeah.
And it's not about the goal, it's about getting creative about the goal. And so a lot of what I try to share with people is it is an investment, and it's no different than your 401k or an index fund. Like, you pool together funds
right.
to support the investment, and a home purchase is very similar to that. So you have to be a little bit more creative. If you see that home and you're like, I can't afford this brownstone, I would never pay that for XYZ, someone will. And it will appreciate.
Someone always will.
Someone always will, and it will appreciate, and it will perform well, just like any other, viable investment.
Right.
But there needs to be a little bit more creativity, I think, in some areas as far as how you get there. When you come up the stairs, we have 3 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. Let's start in the primary. So in the bedroom, we have nothing but a bed and a Peloton, because essentially that's all you need to do is rest and exercise for the new year.
There's other things too, but we'll keep it PG.
We'll keep it PG. So this is our bedroom. It faces onto the street. We have a Peloton. I am not that disciplined, but my fiance oftentimes doesn't even go downstairs until he's done his first ride of the day. I, on the other hand, am quite fine with getting up and having my coffee and fitting this in later on in the day. Nothing else is really in this room except for what I consider to be necessities. I have a humidifier on my side to keep my skin young and my hair healthy. And I have an air purifier on his side. And the sleep number bed gives us the freedom to kind of live our own lives. I like something a little bit more soft. He does something a little bit more firm. The closet is tricky, let's just say that. And it's my fault. I designed it, and I mean, I guess just simply it's not what I need, it's what I thought I wanted. So what we did here is we created a dome. This was actually a bedroom before, and we had turned it into a closet, which is fine, but now as we make edits going forward, we're actually going to close this up, put a traditional door on it, and really take advantage of all of this space, because it turns out we have enough clothes for maybe a whole family, and it's just the two of us. So this is my bathroom. And speaking of closets, this actually used to be two very small closets for two adjoining bedrooms. So I didn't have to share this bathroom with anyone, so I kind of created it custom to what I like. And I really struggled with committing to color, so I went with black and white. I love tiling, I love herringbone, so I kind of did that in here, and I like it, and I probably will change it again. But that's the fun part of ownership, is that as your style changes and your taste changes, then you can change your space. In the hallway down here is where my fiance moved. This is his bathroom. This was where we originally had a bathroom, and it was a nice sized bathroom. I believe it was maybe 5 by 8. So we did broaden it a little bit, kind of went with more of a spa theme in here, something that was a little bit more neutral. And just for a pop of color, we went with a really beautiful indigo sink basin, just so it didn't get too neutral in here, because as we got closer to finishing it, it almost didn't have any personality. So we added a little bit of pop of color for that. This artwork was a gift from my fiance. Love is a theme, and so that is why it's throughout the house. This is right at the steps, just so we are reminded daily what's most important.
This is where the bills get paid. The office, having a separate office is something that I aspire to have. I live in a 1-bedroom now, and it's more than enough space for me. I'm not complaining at all. But if I had even a small room, like even 70 or 80 square feet, to have a separate office, I would. So this is perfect that you have this, and you have it doubling as a guest room.
Yeah, I do. Not necessarily a guest room, but a bed for me, for my naps. Definitely workspace. I've always had a home office. This is the first time I've actually had a room for my home office. We had this extra bed, and we thought about this as a guest room, but because we have an apartment in the house, we definitely didn't feel the need to have a guest room in our quarters. I'm a girl that needs naps. Like, my days are long and they're extremely stressful and anxiety riddled. So we left the bed, and I think we're gonna probably leave it for a while, because why not? But the apartment really serves as a place for guests.
Oh guys, I didn't get any baked goods like I was promised. But I want to thank you guys for joining us on this tour. I'll also leave her Instagram in the description box below, and you guys can go follow her. She is a great resource to have here in New York City. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Say bye, Butter.
Are you gonna say bye? Yeah. Thank you, Butter.